The nationalities of the participants today, I can safely say willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome to COS. This is number 64, I believe. My name's Phil Alexander, and we have a great session today, which has been rescheduled a couple of times due to wonderful things like babies arriving and this kind of stuff. I'm going to introduce our two participants and then hand over to them. Marta Stellmacher studied musicology and Jewish studies in Germany and the Czech Republic. Her PhD was on music practice in Prague synagogues before the Shoah, and between 2012 and 2020, she was researcher at the European Center for Jewish Music in Hanover. Now she works in research data management at the Saxon State Library in Dresden. And between 2011 and 2012, she was working in Paris with our other discussant today, Hervé Rotin. Hervé has a PhD in musicology of the Paris Sorbonne. He won the prize of the Conservatoire National Supérieur de Musique et de Danse de Paris and was awarded Officier des Arts et des Lettres by the French Ministry of Culture. Hervé is director of the European Institute of Jewish Music, which is what we're talking about today, since its creation in 2006. As a musicologist, he's been very interested in saving and digitizing archives, and this is something that he's taught for several years at the universities of Reims and Marne-la-Vallée. He's the author of numerous articles, books, and recordings related to Jewish music, producer of radio programs, and recognized today as one of the best specialists of Jewish music in the world. Fantastic, and it's a wonderful title for this session. The title is Jewish Music at Our Fingertips. And I'd like to hand over to Marta and Hervé.
Thank you, Phil, for the introduction, and hello to everybody. We thought, Hervé, yeah, now I see you. I'm not sure if everybody here is familiar with the Institut Européen de Musique Juive in Paris, the European Institute of Jewish Music. And so we thought to present, or we asked Hervé to present the institute, and also to show the new website and the rich collections which and materials presented at the website, which are held at the institute in Paris. And as Phil already mentioned, actually we know each other quite, I think, for 10 years. When I worked with him, I was very lucky to have the possibility to work in Paris for 6 months, I think, and to inventory the music collection of the big synagogue La Victoire. And this is a big collection also at the Institute, which is very, very interesting, and Hervé will present other collections as well and other materials. So maybe Hervé, could you start to present shortly the institute? When was it founded, and what are the main what is the main mission and the main aims? You're still muted, Hervé.
Do you hear me? Okay. The European Institute of Jewish Music is located in the 13th arrondissement of Paris, and it was founded in 2006 by the Fondation du Judaïsme Français, a philanthropic organization in the cultural field, the Henriette Alphen Foundation, and Yuval, a French association for the preservation of Jewish musical tradition, which was founded in 1985 by Israel Adler, a founder of Jewish Music Research Center in Jerusalem. I'm sure that you knew him. And the main missions of the European Institute of Jewish Music are the following: to safeguard, transmit, and valorize the Jewish musical heritage in all its forms and for all audiences. And for us, it's very important to reach a wide audience. So it's what we try to do since now 15 years. And I think you will see it through our new website. Okay, so Marta, may I introduce and present the new website? Oh, you have no?
Yes. Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, before browsing our new website, let us mention that this new website is now in 5 languages. So as you can see here, you have not only English, French, but now German, Italian, and Spanish. And indeed, we have strengthened our European positioning by establishing partnership with the main institution of Spanish and Italian Judaism. So we have set up a European network of Jewish music in order to answer the needs of several major Jewish institutions in Europe who wish to preserve and valorize their Jewish musical heritage, following the model of what has been done by the Institute of Jewish Music. And this website, we try that this website to become the first European portal for Jewish music. So as you can see, with the European network, we have 2 official partners, which are the Federation de Comunidades Judías de España and Unione delle Comunità Ebraiche Italiane. So we try to find partner in Germany and in different of our European countries, and so I think we will find, but it takes a little time. Let's get back to the website and see how it is a fantastic tools for documenting and learning about Jewish music. Indeed, this site allows you to access the HeHeJM collection and to make specific searches for a document. If you go on this part of the site, you see that you can access to the Alphen library and to our collections catalog. So if you are going there, you can, it's in English or in French or even in Hebrew. You can make a lot of researches. It's the same, we are using Rachel is, it is the same catalog as in Jerusalem or in many universities. So you can make a lot of researches in the other university too. And for example, I will show you for how to consult our collections. You can consult our main funds. For example, Marta just spoke about the Victoire Great Synagogues collection. Just click on this one, and you will have just 1,760 documents of the Synagogue of La Victoire. And Marta worked about that, all that documents all this time, and it was a crazy work. So after we made the digitization of all the score, and now you can access, you can make researches. And for example, I will take the first score. You have here the number of the quotation. And you can, for example, see one example, the first page, for example, of the score. Generally, we always put one page of every score, and if it's some audio music, we put 30 or 45 seconds of every audio music. So here you can see, I return to that, okay. And you have all the details here. And you can see all the contents of the scores. And you can make a lot of researches. And if you are interested by this score, you can select it, okay. And after, I don't know, I want this score to, I select it. And after, with a selected document, I can add it to the basket or save or email. You put your email and you receive the email with all the documents you founded. So it's quite comfortable to make researches. So you have a lot of pages. So a lot of time you have to be more precise. So I will make a new search. I return to the new search. And you can also searching by format. For example, if I want to listen some audio music, I click on this, and you have here just 8,148 documents, audio documents. So for example, the first is a compact disc. You can see all the details, and you can see the cover, and even, just a minute, the cover is here. You can see the back of the cover with all the details, and sometimes the booklet too. So you have a lot of possibilities. Okay, and you can listen, of course. For example, the first tract, Yontel, you can listen an extract. So you have just 45 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds for, of course, question of copyrights. So if the document is in the is not protected, is not he has no copyright, you can send us a mail or join us to have a copy of the document. It's possible too. So I return to that, and I want to show you some other way to make researches. I will make a new search. After, it depends what you are searching, but for example, okay, Al-Ghazi, I will make a research about Al-Ghazi. So if you are searching Al-Ghazi, we will find different things. And you see for scores, but very old audio music. It is on 78 RPM disc. And it's here, not Léon Al-Ghazi, but Isaac Al-Ghazi. But you can, it's the same things. You can listen and extract. I think it's one of the first recording, because it's of the Hatikva. It's a very old recording of the Hatikva by Isaac Al-Ghazi. So sometimes the sound is not very good because it's a very old record, but we don't work about the sound. We try to make our best to have a good sound, but we don't make restoration. We give the sound as it is. And you have a lot of different things, but if you want to make a more precise research, you have a lot of possibilities. For example, I make a new researches, but I will say I want to find I don't know Al-Ghazi, but I want just just a minute, I will go. Yes, I will go in French. Al-Ghazi, and I want just to add the Léon. Al-Ghazi, it's and I want the score, for example. So I pay format partition, and then you have just 251 scores of Léon Al-Ghazi. So you have we have all the Léon Al-Ghazi collection, so you can see it's the same things. It's a Kedusha, and you can see the first page of the score. So it's quite interesting too. We have digitized more than I don't know 300,000 pages of score. So it's crazy. We have really make a great work of digitization, and everything is accessible through this catalog. So it's you have just to go on this catalog and make your searches.
And Hervé, if I may jump in,
Yeah.
so what you mentioned, or you showed us the search for scores, and you have many audios as well. And
Yeah.
what else, like which kinds of collections do you have, or materials? Here you see photographies and
Yes.
and archives. So do you have personal archives of cantors or other Jewish musicians?
Yeah. Yes, of course. If we go there, we have the archive of Israel Adler, because when he was in Paris, when he founded Yuval, he left us a lot of archives, but it depends. We have for example, this is from Léon Al-Ghazi. It was a carte postale he sent from Fez to his wife. And so it's interesting because he was writing what he was doing in Morocco, and he was recording and what he was listening. And so we have a lot of letters, a lot of manuscripts. It's a lot of different things. For example, if you go on the Alphen collection, Fernand Alphen collection, Fernand Alphen is he was a composer, and he died at the end of the First World War I, and he was a pupil of he learned music with Gabriel Fauré, Jules Massenet, and a lot of different composers. So we have many exchanges with those composers. We have letters from Fauré, from Massenet, from Darius Milhaud. We founded a lot of manuscripts, and from Milhaud, from Alexandre Tansman, from a lot of great composers in his archives. So it's really interesting. And you have, of course, photographies. So from Ernest Bloch, and it's come from private archives. From Dave Cash, which was a Yiddish singer. I don't know if you see, but
and how works the acquisition, or how who donates collections to your institute? Are you these like private persons, or you just there we see that there are several collections of synagogues, so you work together with Jewish communities like La Victoire or in Metz, the Jewish community of Metz?
When I began this work of archiving and digitizing of these archives, in a few years, institution and people and family knows that there was an institute which was doing this job, and In fact, a lot of synagogues, they don't worry about their archives. Musical archives are, if you remember in which statement, Marta, you founded the musical archives of La Victoire Synagogue, it was terrible, terrible. So they call us and they say, so we have some archives. If you are interested, we have to make some. We don't know what to do with that archives. We will perhaps throw them. But if you want the archives, come and take the archives. And it's begins like that. And a lot of family, for example, the Alberto MC collection, which is one of our great Ladino collection, it comes from his widow and the three daughter of Alberto MC, and they call me by phone and they told me, Hervé, if you want to come, we have a lot of archives and we don't know what to do with that. So we took the archives and we made this work of conservation first, inventory, and digitizing, cataloging, and making online. And now this collection are saved. So it's very important because you have really some musical treasure. And it continues all the time. For example, now I am in touch with some synagogue, not only in France, but in the Luxembourg synagogue, which have some archives. I was in touch with his Chazan, Michel Heyman, who told me that he have a lot of archive and he wants to give this archive to the European Institute of Jewish Music to preserve them for the future, for the next generation. So we receive a lot of archives, and now the problem is not to acquire archive, but to tell to the people we have no more space and we have no more time to digitize also. We have to make some choices, and it's not easy sometimes, because to make this job it costs a lot of money. You have to have some material of digitization, but a lot of you have to have a server, a web server to put all the files. And for example, to digitize just one record from 1 hour, it's take about 3 hours to make the job just for one record. So I have a little film I can show you about the team. It's quite interesting. Just a minute, I go there. About the collection, my Alphen library, and you will see it will give you a little idea. It's not this one. No, it's not in this. It's in yes, I know it's in support us. It's very important to support us to make the job. And
you have also many volunteers to
yes.
work with you.
Yes, yeah. About 10 volunteers.
I was very impressed when I was in Paris with you, and so many volunteers coming regularly and working with the digitization or identifying music pieces on recordings without any descriptions, and yeah. And spending their time with for this purpose. Yes,
it's very important because the team is composed from five persons. 3 persons of the team, and they are working only on the archive, only on the collection. It means that 3 persons on 5, it's a lot of people. We have to pay them, so they are making the jobs that you saw. And I will show you, it's a day at the AMG. It's quite interesting. It's coming, I think. Why it's not coming? So it's a short video, very quick, but just to show you what we are making with the collection and with all the volunteers, and it's important for us. For the collection, you have a lot of possibility to access to the collection. For example, sometimes we make focuses about the main fonts. So you have 3 pages. Every page it's 10 articles. So we have 30 description of the main collections. And for example, the Paul Fenton collection, if you can go there, comes. Okay, you have a description of the collection, when it was deposited, what it contains, and some documents. And after you can browse the Fenton collection. And so you have the links to the Fenton collection on our catalog. So after now you know how it works. So you can listen the audio files. You can see the scores. You can well, it's not authorized. Sometimes you have not the scores. Depends. And a lot of different things you can do. I want to show you another funds and our main holdings, and come back. But I want to what time is it? So no, I will go a little more because I have a lot of things to show you. The Alphen collection, so you have a lot of funds that you have really to you have to visit this page. And but I will continue because we have a lot of things to see on the website. So you can also, in this menu, the collection, you have some highlights. What is this? You can, in this highlights, discover some important or original document from our collection. I don't know. This is quite interesting. It's a collection of old RPM discs from the Odeon Music label. So I will show you what we made. You have a story of the label and all the Jewish records that he made. And you can listen. That's quite interesting. Just a minute. Here you have the possibility, you have some playlists. So all you are making that, and you can listen all that. It's from the label. I don't know, you have just to do that. So, and you go from one to the other. Yeah, so I have to cut because you have hundreds and hundreds of documents, audio, music, a lot of things. So
there's sorry, Hervé, there's one question in the chat which might fit here. who owns the copyright? I guess the question is how you manage to put all this material online, especially in the case of the recordings. I guess this is not always easy. And in this case, I think there you have the full recordings,
Yes,
but otherwise you have only extracts, short.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We only put extract when it's protected by the legal rights. But when you have some old recording, as in this case, sometimes they are recording, it was in 1909 or 1920, they are no more protected. So we can put them without extract in the entire format. What else? Yes, I wanted to show you something which is quite funny. I'm come back. Yeah, where is it? It's in the page 2. Yeah, it's the Phonocart Aura Below. So I open. So you have an okay. So you have all the explication of the Phonocart. What is a Phonocart? It's a postcard which was invented apparently in England at the beginning of the 20th century. And what is very interesting, it's a postcard, so you can write some words, but it's a disc too. So you can hear the music too. Here you have the disc and here's the postcard. And we made a little video to show you how it is. We made a lot of video, pedagogic video. So I don't know if a lot of you knew that it was possible to listen music on a phonocard. When I discovered that it was the case, I was really surprised.
Sorry, Hervé, there was the question if these phonocards would play on a regular record player?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes. We put it on a regular record player, and we made after we made this video to show how it works. And this was very interesting. We have a lot of different things like that, but I have no time. But you will have time to explore the website. I just wanted you asked me, Marta, how we receive the collection. So we have here a latest acquisition. It's the latest documents we have acquired or that have been donated to us. And sometimes the artists, they send us their last CD because they know the work that we're making, and we were writing some articles about the CD, so it's a promotion for them. Because on this website you have a lot of visitors, about I don't know exactly, but it's about 10,000 visitors every month from all the world, because it's translated in 5 languages. So If you want to make the promotion of a CD, or you know some artists who want to make the promotion of a CD, they can send us a CD, and if the CD is interesting, of course, we will make an article about the CD. For example, here, Soul of Yiddish, and I will show you. So it's about the CD. And you can purchase the album, and always you have the possibility to listen some extracts. And so you listen here. So it's a beautiful music, but we don't have time to listen the entire extract. But you see, so you can listen here or consulting. We have 260 articles of acquisition. So you have times to listen all them. It will take you hours, but it's quite interesting.
And Hervé, one thing, sorry, Hervé, one thing you didn't mention yet, that you are also publishing CDs. Maybe
yes, of
course.
course.
Yeah. So you have your own edition. You're not only collecting and presenting the collections, but also publishing new music.
Absolutely. It's we have, as we see, we have 3 missions. Which are safeguarding the Jewish musical heritage. We have to, as it's written here, safeguard. Just a minute. Transmit, and of course valorizing them. And to valorizing them, of course, we are editing new CD and scores too. And we will see. How. I just want to show you these 2 menus, Discover and Listen Watch, go together, because it allows a lot of people to discover the many facets of Jewish music. It's very interesting. Discover, it's more dedicated to the researchers or other interested person who wants to know more about Jewish music. For example, you have some feature articles. So if you have written some feature articles and said you want to publish them on our website, you can send us your articles. If it's in English, after we'll translate it in French, in Spanish, in Italian. So it's quite interesting. We tried that it remain accessible for a wide audience, so it's not too much technical, but it's quite vulgarization, but from a high level. For example, I wrote an article about the organ in the Jewish tradition, because I gave a lecture on the subject a few weeks ago. And so you have I wrote all the history of the organ in the Jewish tradition in France, in German, and it comes from in the Bible, music and Judaism, always with some pictures and always with some musical example. So you can hear some extract, some excerpts. And it's quite a long article, but it's very interesting because you can see that the controversy surrounding the introduction of that instrument in the synagogue, it was not easy. The organ was considered as a hukat goyim, so it was quite difficult. And so you can read off the article. It's a quite long articles, but and listen. Or here, the playlist of all the examples. But it's you have some other. It's I don't want to go too much in the Shabbat song. I don't know if we have time. Shabbat song, for example. Where is the Shabbat song? Shabbat song. You have an article about Shabbat songs, which explain the most important songs of Shabbat, and give some example. The Birkat Hamazon, the Havdalah, the Lechadodi, of course, and some musical examples. And what is quite interesting, at the end, you can listen a lot of different playlists of Shabbat song in a lot of different rites. The Western Ashkenazic rites, the Moroccan rites, the Algerian rites. And so you have just to click here, and it go on another menu playlist. And then you can hear a selection of Shabbat song from Algiers, always the same things. They're here and up. So, as you can see, you have a lot of articles and playlists to listen. I continue. You have some biographies. So it's quite simple. I don't know. I think we have about 100 biographies about different personalities of the Jewish music. For example, Shalom Berlansky, who was Chazan at the Great Synagogue of La Victoire. And so you have all his life and some pictures. He gave us all his private and familial archives, so we put a lot of pictures. And you can listen to the playlist where he's singing. You can browse in his archive, so you can make a lot of different things. And everything is linked, of course. You have a lot of links in the different articles in the site. And so I continue, and you have the possibility to hear or to see some lecture or conferences. For example, on November 2019, I was in Roma for a conference, Jewish music when singular is plural. And so it was, there was a captation, a video, and you can see the video here. And all the video are on our YouTube channel, because we have a YouTube channel. So you can see the video here. But it's a little long, 42 minutes, so I want, and but it's quite interesting. So you will really, you have a lot of things to do on the website. Just I go, so you have some external links if you want to know more about a lot of subjects. Just I show you the pages. If you are searching book, publishers, festival, musical artist and band, you can search by musical genre or by country. You can search libraries and archives, online resources. So it gives you a lot of links, 21 pages, it's a lot. The listen watch here is something else. It's more for the pleasure if you want to listen music just like that. You you go there on the playlist page, and I go. You have 14 pages. It means about 140 playlists, different playlists. So all the Shabbat songs that you saw. But from example, about the Fromental Alevi opera, about klezmer band made in France, about Tu B'Shvat. It's now the period of Tu B'Shvat. So you can, about all the Jewish festival, you can listen to music. So some explanation about Tu B'Shvat. You have an article about the song of Tu B'Shvat, and you can listen some playlist. So if you want, if you are interested, it's in the homepage. At the homepage, you can find this playlist on Tu B'Shvat. So I continue, and listen, watch. You can hear a lot of radio programs, but most of them are in French. So it's, if you are understanding French, you can listen to the radio program. But I think we will receive some radio program in Spanish. We have some in English, but not some few program in English, and we will have in Italian too. You can watch some concerts. I go on the page. For example, every year we are giving a gala concert. And the last time it was in 2019, because of the COVID, it was impossible to make a gala concert last year, and this year it was not possible to in 21. So we have about 400 people who were present during the concert. And we make a captation, so you can. It was about the music of Jacques Offenbach, Isaac Offenbach, which is his father, and some other composer, which were friends, which were close to Jacques Offenbach, and they wrote Jewish music too. And it was very interesting because we gave the Mima Makin from Fromental Alevi, and it was the first time that this score was given on concerts. So you can hear the same things, just to show you the Hashamnu from Jacques Offenbach. So I have to stop here because the time is going very fast. And you have some TV program or video. We are making some video, as you could see. It means we have a person in the team of the YEGM which can create some video. And for example, yes, this is a quite funny video. It's about Israeli music of the 70s. and it's come from our collections. So I will show you just the beginning of the video.
כשהייתי חתן טרי כמו ראשית העולם, אז אמרו לי כולם שבשקט קטן מזאת אהבה אחרונה. טוב אז אהבתי כמה שיכולתי, את כל האהבה הזאתי, כמו אריה, כמו כבשה, כמו חזיר וכמו סוף עד הסוף, עד הסוף.
לא ביום ולא בלילה, חרש אצלי הלילה, לא בהר ולא בבקעה, שיטה עומדה שם עתיקה. ומגידה היא עתידו, את השיטה אשאל אני, מי תמיד יפתה לי. את השיטה אשאל אני, מי תמיד יפתה
So I have to cut here, but it's quite funny, and it's a period of the EPs, a period of which you can see the graphic of the graphic of the dish, which is very typical of that period. Just to finish, you can find all these videos are on our YouTube channel. So don't hesitate to subscribe, and you will access to hundreds of other music videos. I will finish with the new, it means what we are making our publication. Even so, as I told you, I can show you very quickly. We are making a lot of conference, concerts, workshop. So you can find a lot of different events that we organize. Everything is not translated in English, but in the French version, you will see that there are a lot of other events. It's a really a big work to translate all the articles. So we don't have time sometimes to translate every French article in English. And when it's less important, so we don't translate them. But what is important is our publications. We have published about 30 CDs and 70 music score, and it's a great work. For example, we just published a new CD, Every Melody for Cello and Piano. It was a second volume, and is mainly dedicated to the composer of the St. Petersburg Jewish School, such as Joel Engel, Alexander Crane. And so if you want to know more, you have just to go there. We will make a concert in 3 weeks about that program, and I hope that it will be possible to make concert because of the COVID situation, but I think we will do it. And so you have the description of the new CD, so you can see what is on the CD. And so you have some arrangement of Abraham Goldfaden, but Leo Zeitlin, Joel Engel, and you can listen to playlists, so you will have an idea. And what is quite interesting is that the artists, when they decided to choose the program of the CD, they were searching new score in our collection, and they found some scores which were never played. For example, Vladimir Dyk, Legend hébraïque. He was a great composer. He was awarded of the Prize of Rome, Roma Prize. But he was arrested by the Nazi during the World War II, and he was killed. He was killed in Auschwitz. And after we never heard about his works, but it's interesting. For example, just listen to the beginning. And it's the first time that it is recording. And what is very interesting is you can feel the influence and the mix between Jewish music and the Gabriel Fauré or Maurice Ravel musical languages. It's quite interesting to hear this French Jewish music, because the mixture is very interesting. So we have a lot of publication. I have no time to show you everything. It's the same for the score. We have 4 collections, in fact. We have a collection of classical music, a collection of, the name of the collection is Discover Collection. It's the new Jewish music, how the artists are now mixing Jewish music with other style or with other musical languages. For example, klezmer with salsa, or Ladino with Bulgarian polyphony. So it's quite interesting. And we have an archive collections. It means that we reissued some very old disc of our collection, and a collection about musical testimony of French Jews. So you have to visit the website. I think after you have an agenda with all the concept, but and you can find all our publication, and not only our publication on the shop. We have a shop online, and after Martha promised, I will finish because it's quite 7 in Paris. So you can find the CD. And it's now only 10 euros. So if you want to buy it, it's now or never, because after it will be a little more. But you can for instance, the cheap music we produce, and a lot of different things. And it's interesting because you on this shop you have not only our production but some other production and some, for example, if you are searching the original score of Coplas Sephardis from Alberto MC, you have just to we are selling the MC Coplas Sephardis. So I'm stuck. And comes. So you can buy the Coplas Sephardis. It was coming directly from the family in 10 scores. And it's the original score published in 32 in Alexandria and in Paris. And for example, the whole collection of the 10th series of Coplas Sephardis, it's not very expensive. It's 120 euro, something like that. So don't hesitate to go in the shop. So I think I show you the most important things. It's just a quick demonstration, but really you have time to spend. If you have a little time, I know that everybody is very busy, but if you want to take a little time, you will spend some hours on the website because it is really very, very rich. Marta, I give you the. I don't hear you.
Sorry. I wanted to mention one thing. What you see here as well. You have the collection of Alberto Remsi. And
Yeah.
this is what I find special in the collections of your institute, and I think this is special for the institute holds one of the most comprehensive or collections in Europe, I think. But what is special that you have many holdings or many material from Jews in North Africa and from Sephardic spheres. So this is something, because I worked for many years at the European Center for Jewish Music in Hanover, where you see a big difference in the collection, the character of the collection, which in Hanover is very, very Germany-based or very Ashkenazic, and in Paris you have so many materials from especially North Africa and then Turkey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, in Paris you have a lot of Jewish coming from everywhere, a lot of North African Jewish communities. So yeah, it's a little like in Israel. In Israel you have more than in France, but really after, I think that in France you have Jewish people which are coming from all the world and from North Africa in particular. If the example of the Algerian right, a lot of Algerian Jewish were coming in Paris when they have to fly when they have to escape from Algeria. And if you want to make some search, through the whole website, you have here the search, and I don't know if we are speaking about MC, so you make just MC. And you will have all the articles. You will get all the articles. And you know this CD, Marta, because you gave a concert in Dresden with that program by Alberto MC. And I was coming and I made a little film. And you have, here is the films that you can see, you can watch. About the Alberto MC collection, you have all the fund, the biography about Alberto MC, the CD we published, a lot of different things. And after another possibility, when you go on the article, you have some tag, and not on this, it's a bad example, but if I go there, yes, you see, it's written Alberto MC. So if you are clicking on that, you will have some more specified articles. Some radio programs, the videos, some different, and even a concert with some Alberto MC works. So you have a lot of possibility to make researches through the website, and you can access to more detailed documents, or you can listen really 100 hours of music. But if you want to make a very precise research, you have to go through the collections catalog. Okay.
Thank you, Hervé, for presenting the possibilities and of your website, and I think this is real, or at least for me as a researcher, this is a very, very useful tool, and I'm searching often in your collections because you are digitizing your entire collections, and so this is very useful, even if most of the time you can see only one page of a score, for example, but at least it gives an impression, and this helps me very much in my research. Maybe this is the moment that we should open for questions. If there are some questions in the public, I don't see any more questions in the chat, or maybe there is something new I haven't seen now. There is the question: if you have much Latin American material.
We don't have a lot of American material now. Of course, we can find some about the Yiddish music. We have some recording which are the same that you can find in America, but we don't have a lot of American material. We are more complementary. We are more focused about European music and Latino and North African, and it's more our specialty, yes.
And Judith Friedrich wants to ask something technical. Please go ahead.
Yes. Bonjour, c'est très bien de te voir. C'est Judith. Okay, I asked the question in English. Okay. I didn't quite, maybe I missed something in your explanation, but when I tried earlier, not today, but I tried earlier, I could not get to the actual music in the site. So even though I go to listen, watch, what opens up to you, what I have seen, that you actually can go to the pieces, I don't know how to get there.
The pieces, you have.
Yes, I go there and then I go to the playlist.
Yes, and it doesn't work. It did not work.
And it doesn't. It goes only to text.
Yeah. It must be, it's a bug, I think. Could you please send me if you can make a screen capture and send me, and I will see with our website.
You say if you go to the piece and then you click on wherever you are, on the music or something, it should open up.
Yes. For example.
Okay, well, it doesn't. It didn't for me. Maybe today it will, but it didn't.
Yeah, because you have all it's always here, so you can it's on this play, or you can open the pop-up too. If you open the pop-up,
yeah,
that's the playlist.
Okay, so it may be my problem. I'm sorry.
And Judith, is this recent? Did this happen recently? Because I think
a few weeks ago, I don't know. I don't go to this collection every day, but a few weeks ago I tried.
Because
I
think
what I've seen here.
Formerly, you had a special player embedded, I think, Hervé, but maybe this was the former site, that it was actually a different program, a player.
Maybe.
And now I don't know which player it is that you use, Hervé, to.
It's a sticky player, but the website is built with WordPress. So WordPress is a very spread system. So, but sometimes we have always bugs. It's always I am spending a lot of time with the web agency to tell them that we could not no more access to that. And it depends on which if you use I don't know Google or Firefox, it depends about that.
Okay, so forget it. Don't spend time on this. It's I just thought I didn't understand where I should go in the collection, but apparently I went to the right place. So we'll solve that somehow among us. No need to spend so much time on this issue. Thank you, really, Aves. Thank you so much. It's also very good to see you.
Yeah, me too.
After so many years.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say thank you to Hervé for digitizing the programs of the Jewish music festivals that we ran in London for 10 years. There were books of 50 concerts each for each festival. And Hervé and Jean Gabriel really gave us a great pleasure to digitize them. Now, Hervé, are they on your website as well? Have you been able to post them on your website? We have posted them on the Jewish Music Institute website, but interesting to know if you have them, because you're very welcome to put them on your website.
I have no contact with them. It's a pity, because when you were speaking about the program, I was thinking it would be good if we can establish a partnership with Institute of Jewish Music in London, because it would be possible that I don't know, to put the program in the English part of the website and to show what you did. So we have to think about a partnership. We have to think about that.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure they'd be happy to be a partner and connect with you.
Okay, with pleasure, Geraldine.
And what I said in the chat, what is amazing is that you're not just looking backwards and taking what's old and archiving it, but you're making new things all the time. You're putting things together. You're making new recordings. You're making new lectures and conferences. So I really commend you for this all-round wonderful work, and we can all benefit from what you've done. So thank you.
Thank you, Geraldine. Yeah, I think it's it's quite. I am not working as teacher at the university, or it is when my preoccupation was to transmit this music and the Jewish culture to the future generation. And so I think for Jewish music is very important for Jewish identity, and to know that when you are no more religious, but when you hear some Jewish music, you feel something that's you feel your Jewish root through the music. So it was very important for me that to give access to a wide audience to that heritage, which are belonging to everybody, not only Jews. Because now, for example, in France, you have a lot of klezmer bands which are absolutely not Jew, and they make a beautiful Jewish music. So it's a world heritage, I think.
Alex, you have a question or a comment?
Just because Geraldine mentioned about the archives and about JMI, we are ECA, which is the European Campus Association. So doesn't it actually make good sense that we should have a partnership with the European Musique Juive organization? Because we do the COS series and the VOC. I'm in the process of doing the VOC series. So I'm interviewing Chazanim or people who have played a very, very good, large part in cantorial music, and maybe through our partnership, we put it on our own, on the YouTube channel, but maybe you can have it in the, the European Cantors Association archive section, where some of this music needs to be preserved from generation to generation, so people of the next generation can hear and see with musical examples what happened in the 20th or the 21st, early part of the 21st century. So I think that makes sense. What do you think, Geraldine?
Yeah, maybe will be an outside link to Hervé. What do you think, Hervé?
Yeah, I didn't listen. All the sound was not very good, but I think I have yes, okay. So if you want to contact me, the more interesting is that we have a contact by mail. You can on this you have our mail. Where is the mail? Yes, here you have the mail of the institute, and I will answer you, and so we will perhaps discuss about this partnership. I did not hear very well which sort of partnership, but I think it's a question we have to discuss together.
Am I not coming over to you clearly?
Yeah, no, it's the sound of the micro was not good, or my and it's just
because it's a machine I'm not used to using. It's a borrowed computer, so I'm not used to it. So
okay.
There may be a problem which I don't know about.
Okay.
But hopefully only for a couple of days.
Okay.
But you come over also very faint with the production, so I couldn't hear very well either what you were saying at parts. But this is going to be recorded, and hopefully I can play it back and get a good reproduction. But the work is so important. I mean, for me personally, cantorial music of France, or the synagogue music of the Ashkenazi French, cantors is very, very important, and very little is out there in the world, across the world, in America, Canada, even though they're French Canada, the actually great synagogues who had at one time wonderful cantors. I think there's one record I know produced in America or maybe 2 volumes of French cantors from the Greater Recording Company of America, and apart from that, I have not seen anything substantial. Okay. Did you hear me clearly?
You're just wondering if you've got music of French cantors.
Yes, of course. We have a lot of music of French cantors. Most of our collections are containing music of French cantors, because they gave us their archives. As I show you the archive of Shalom Berlinski, who was Ashkenazi cantor at the La Victoire Great Synagogue from 1948 to 1979. So we have all the archives. And after there was another cantor, we have the archives. And yes, we have the archive of the Metz Synagogue.
Benedict Taub is another big. Yeah, Benedict.
Albert Taub.
Yeah.
So yeah, just we can look on our catalog. Taub, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bauch Taube.
No.
Katzmann. What is? It can be there. Just a thing. Elie Taube. No, it's not Elie Taube.
No,
what is
Benedict.
And it?
Benedict.
Taube Bernard? No. Sadat.
No.
So
Max
you
Neumann, I know, it recorded for Deutsche Grammophon.
I don't hear you. Sorry, I don't understand what you told.
No, there's certain things.
Yes,
Um,
it's better like that.
in the UK and in America, there are
Yeah.
very, very few Ashkenazi cantorial recordings
Yeah.
from the greats of before the war and
Okay.
after the war in the big synagogues of maybe Paris or the big communities in France.
Yes. Yes, we have. We have
So I did research probably 30, 40, 50 years ago,
Mhm.
and found it very, very difficult with two basic recordings of famous cantors, which was produced from somebody from the Greater Recording Company of America, which I would say 1971, maybe 68 to 71, somewhere in that era, which was private company. But you should have archives of that if available. Famous French cantors of the synagogue,
Okay.
or famous, yeah. There's two volumes which are very important
Mhm.
for academics or for people who understand. So I can't see those on your collection.
Okay. So I propose you to get in touch through the mails, and that you will write me, and we will try to go ahead with that. You are looking, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm
Okay.
sorry my speaking is very poor.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Alex. There is maybe one last questions, or if there are more which are popping up, so go ahead. But one important question I find, is the Institute related to a scholarly platform like a university? Because
No.
this touches also actually the difficulties of your institute to survive, if I may call it like that. But
Yes.
yeah.
No, we are not related to any university. And what is quite terrible that we don't receive any public money. We don't receive subvention from the French government. We don't receive any public subvention. No public subvention, except for the work we made together about the digitization of the great synagogue of La Victoire, but they gave us only 10,000 euro, and the work was lasting about 3 years. So it's nothing. It's nothing. It means we can make our work just with the help of the foundations that I mentioned at the beginning. It means our partners, which are mainly the Fondation du Judaïsme Français, the Fondation Henriette Alphen, Yuval, but there is no more money, the Fondation of the Shoah, and the Fondation Rothschild. And we have received, we have some help of the Rothschild Foundation and Adiv. So it's through this subventions that we can continue our work. But it's very difficult because for making that, we have a budget of about 300,000 euro every year. So it's not, it's a lot of money. So we have, it's part of my job is to find money, and it takes a lot of time, but I do the job. And I hope that it will continue, because with the COVID epidemic, it was quite difficult to find some subvention for music and for culture. So if you have some idea, or if you have some, yes, we can create links with university, but generally universities, they don't give money to, so it's quite difficult. And it's more, how can I say, administrative or something like that. Okay. Any
You
questions?
mean that if you are a part of a university, you are bound to their administrative processes and so on?
Yeah. I think one of the advantages not to be linked to an university, it's that we are more free, and we can do the things more quickly, and we can go ahead more quickly. But you have always to find the mean to continue. So it's like that.
Does Hanover work in the same way as Hervey works, or is it a completely different way of working with their collection from the, that we saw through the university when we were in Hanover last? Is it a different format for the collections, or how they get funding, or is it the same sort of way?
Okay. So
you understand?
Maybe Martha, Alex is saying, how does the institute in Hanover work?
Sorry, I didn't understand everything as well. What Alex said. What could you just repeat your question, please?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that we were privileged to go to Hanover, and there's also a collection in the Villa Seligman, and they're the headquarters to do with the university, which is has a wonderful collection, and they're advertising for that. And Sarah Ross, I think, is in charge of that, if I'm not mistaken. So how does that differ to what Hervey's doing, and also with the funding? I mean,
yeah, I think it was what Hervé said. Actually, in Paris, the institute is more free to choose the projects, and in Hanover, this is we, or Sarah Ross, she realized that many times that sometimes projects need more time, or funding. There is a basic funding, but actually to make the institute work, you need to have many more projects to find other fundings and to write proposals and so on, and sometimes the universities gives some like boundaries, or says no, we can't fund this or that because it is public money. So
but the time-consuming, Martha, the time-consuming thing is that recordings that have to be digitized from the old 78 or tapes have to be done in real time. There's no fast way of doing it, and it's extremely time-consuming. So
yes.
If it's a 5-minute record, it will take more than 5 minutes. If it's an LP and it's 30 minutes each side, that's over an hour, because it's got to be cleaned, and it's got to be put on the turntable, and it's got to be catalogued, and so on and so forth. So that is physically time consuming. And how much is somebody worth per hour to do that work, which has to be done for the archive to be successful? So there's no easy way around it. So how does one fund something like that, which is crucial to the archives? FAU have trouble because they can't get the funding, and there's shelves and shelves and shelves full of uncatalogued material that is just lying there because there's no one to produce to do the work, because there's no money available.
Yes, and I think 10 years ago there was much more funding for digitization projects, and now it's getting more difficult to, at least in Germany, or I think in other countries as well, because there is so much material which needs to be digitized, and it's endless. Yeah.
I know there's experts who we know, I know, mix with, and we're always trying to do things. But for us, we would love the opportunity of could go to the universities and spend time there. But if somebody just pays for our hotels and our accommodation and just upkeep, not necessarily wages, we can do things that other people can't do because we're experts in the field of this sort of music, and especially the music has no labels on it. People don't know who they are, but when you've got a gift and you can recognize things, and then you can do things, work it backwards historically, and then by a process of elimination. But these things are time consuming, but we do it all the time. It's part and parcel of something that I do with 3 or 4 friends, that we do it seriously. And that's how we get our archives to be able to produce something that people say have never been sung commercially, or we've never found, or nobody's recorded it. We can dig things up. And this is the most important and crucial thing to any collection or any university. It's finding things that nobody has got, or people don't know that they have, and then use them appropriately in the right way, which to some it's like finding a pot of gold.
Yeah. I don't know if okay. I just want to tell you, I don't understand all the things because the sound is really not good, but as I told at the beginning of that session, digitizing it costs a lot of money, because it's not just a question of material, but as you told, it takes a lot of time to digitize. And at the European Institute of Jewish Music in Paris, we decided at the beginning to have our own material of digitization. We can digitize not everything, because sometimes you have some bands, different form of bands, but most of the material we can digitize. But now it's a question of how many hours it will take to make the digitization. For example, we received last year a very important Oriental fund, Orient Music Fund, but I don't know, 2,500 documents, audio, cassette, tapes, recording, and we have not finished. We are working about that fund more than one year and a half, and 3 people are working on the fund, and it's crazy. So it's very difficult, because, for example, on this fund, it's most of the supports are cassette, and nothing is written on the cassette. So you have to listen to the cassette. You have to recognize that sometimes it's in Hebrew, in Arabic, in different language. So you have to search people who know Arabic, and they can come and he will say that is this artist, and he's speaking about and this is this song. It's crazy. It's a crazy task, really. But we have to do that, because nobody will do it. And
no, that you said exactly what I was trying to say before, and I'm sorry, it's very embarrassing if you cannot hear me or don't understand me.
Yeah, I understand now, it's better.
The time, you were right, the time factor, but the knowledge of understanding what you have in front of you, which is not being labeled, is also very crucial. And that's why you need experts to be able to do this, who understands the music. And what I'm trying to say is that myself and 2 or 3 other people that I work with in archival work are fairly expert in listening and hearing a voice and saying this has to be Moshe Cohen or whoever it might be, because the time factor, whether it was recorded, the tone of a voice, the material, the composition, So we can work things out where other people cannot do so because they don't have the knowledge. And when you have different people who are interns working on these things, they miss and they don't understand because it's not their subject, but they are using it for points for their degree or various other things that they need it for within a university.
You're right. Yes, of course. We need some specialists, but in France, you know that in France you don't have any. How can I say? There is no Jewish music is not taught in any university in France. Not taught. There is no post of Jewish music in France. No.
Très difficile.
What? Like you?
Très difficile.
Yeah, très difficile. Très. Okay. Oh, we keep in touch. Okay. With pleasure.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I just try and it's something I feel very passionate about. It's part and parcel of what I do every day. And how the encyclopedia that we use, the Jollis Encyclopedia, is a prime example of 10 years of work from people who know what they're doing, as opposed to maybe a lot longer from people who don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
But you are doing a brilliant job and I love you for it. And thank you very much for what you're doing. Kol hakavod.
Toda rabba. Okay.
So thank you, Alex. I don't. Maybe it's time to wrap up. What do you think, Geraldine, Phil?
I think wrapping up feels like a good idea. Would you like to wrap up, Marta, while you're there?
Maybe Hervé, do you want to say some last words?
No, I just want to thank all of you for the work you are making, and you made me a good feeling, because sometimes I feel alone with all that crazy job, and it's good to be in touch with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Hervé, for presenting this your precious collections and the work of your institute. And thank you to the organizers of the cause.
Thank you, Martha. And thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Hervé. That's
Thank you, Martha.
Really a magical collection. And I think those of us like me who didn't know it are going to spend some time exploring. So thank you very much indeed. I'm just going to wrap up quickly by explaining what's happening next week, which as it stands is not very much at all. We were set to have a session on Joseph Tal, but one of the speakers unfortunately has had to reschedule. So that session next week has moved a couple of weeks later. If any of you, the few remaining by this point, have any suggestions for next week, please do contact me. Otherwise, we will have a short break and then resume in 2 weeks' time. And if anyone else has anything to add, if not, then we can wrap up.
Well, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Phil and Laurie. And well, hope we'll see you next week. You can conjure up some plan. What about Niels? We haven't heard from you. Have you got an idea of doing something next week on COS? You're here every week. You must have some ideas.
Yes, but another time. Another moment.
Okay. Well,
I did that a lot of lectures in the last weeks, so I have a little bit of rest at the moment.
What sort of subjects would you be interested in talking about?
There will be a time that I will give a lecture about the Jewish music influence in American popular song.
Okay.
And it will be a very, very interesting lecture, I hope so.
Good.
But at another moment, please.
Okay, well, look, work it up and Phil will be in touch with the date.
for sure. No, this was a very short notice cancellation last week. I just heard yesterday that we needed to reschedule next week, so it's very last minute. Did you have a suggestion, Alex?
Maybe if I can speak to maybe David Ezra, Arkansas, who had cancelled. I see if I can maybe instead of Philip doing it, maybe I can interview him.
That would be wonderful.
I will email him later today and see if he wants to do it.
Fantastic. Please do. That would be great to have something to put in next week.
Because he's a composer in his own right, he writes his own, and his story is you know, he's Turkish, and his story is from converting from you know, to Judaism and how long it took and so on and so forth, and his